Mike Tyson tells the world, Hulu stole my life story and they treat me like a slave and not trying to pay me a dime. Before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. Now, I thought this was an interesting story. Mike Tyson is an iconic figure that got one of the most craziest life stories of any athlete that I can ever think of, right? His life story is up there with Jack Johnson and Joe Louis and all of them, right? But Mike Tyson's life story is crazy. And we've seen, a few movies put out on Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson in the past, he's gave his opinions on these movies that was put out and how they depicted his life story. But now, Hulu, they supposed to have this huge Bio Pic Series come out on Mike Tyson's life story. And Mike Tyson ain't feeling it. He not feeling it at all. I believe it's supposed to come out in a couple weeks. And like I said, on Hulu, the streaming service Hulu, and Mike Tyson ain't feeling it. He not feeling how they portraying him, and he not feeling how they try to come out with this biopic and not pay him a dime. Now I'm gonna just read y'all some of the things that Mike Tyson had to say about this. Mike Tyson, he comes out and he says, and I'll put it up so y'all can see it for yourself. He says, "Don't let Hulu fool you. I don't support their story about my life. It's not 1822, it's 2022. They stole my life story and didn't pay me. To Hulu executives, I'm just the end they can sell on the auction block." And then he comes back to say, Hulu is a streaming version of a slave master. They stole my story and didn't pay me. So he's saying that they stole, information on his story that he probably gave to them or somebody and they didn't pay him a dime. Also, he's also saying that they tried to get Dana White involved in it. The president of the UFC, Dana White, and Mike Tyson, they have a very, very close relationship, and they've had a very close relationship with each other for years. Now, I'm going to let y'all see what he said about Dana White in this situation. Now, as y'all can see, Mike Tyson says that Hulu tried to desperately pay my brother Dana White millions without offering me $1 to promote their slave master takeover story about my life. He turned it down because he honors friendship and treating people with dignity. I'll never forget what he did for me, just like I'll never forget what Hulu stole from me. And that's just some of the things that Mike Tyson had to say. And so y'all can clearly see that Mike Tyson, he was never on board with this. Matter of fact, way back in February of 2021, when they, first started announcing the movie that they was going to come out with this, Mike Tyson was against it. And he criticized the production of it. So Mike Tyson never wanted this to come out. And he's saying that Hulu did all of this stuff against his will. And then they refused to pay him, right? And he comparing them to slave masters. And we know how these, high executives at the top of these huge corporations is. That's what it is. It's ran just like, they got a slave master mentality. These old white men and these Jewish white men, you know what it is. The star of the movie, he don't even look like Mike Tyson. Trevante Rhodes is the star of the movie. He's a good actor. I'm not gonna hate on his acting ability and skills, but he don't look like Mike Tyson. But that's besides the point. The whole thing with this is with Hulu, and I feel Mike Tyson. How you gonna come out with a biopic series of me, I'm still alive, and you're not gonna pay me a dime, but then you're gonna reach out to one of my friends, Dana White, and you're gonna try to pay him to promote the movie that you made about me that I didn't consent to? And so, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that they doing this and they taking this man's life story. They putting it in a biopic series on their streaming platform. They're profiting off of it. They're depicting his life how they want it to be, right? And they not paying him a dime while making millions and millions and millions of dollars off of this man's name, his blood, sweat, and tears, and the story that he went through. That's true slave master shit right there. And so my whole thing is, at least pay the man. If you gonna come out and profit all of these millions of dollars off of this man's life story, the things that this man went through, all the blood, sweat, and tears that this man shed, at least pay the man. But you gonna reach out to his white friend, Dana White, and offer him millions of dollars to promote it? It's a crazy world. We see how they do every day. Ain't nothing changed. So yeah, he calling them slave masters, and Mike Tyson is letting everybody know, don't go watch it. Don't go watch that, right? And so I want to see what's going to come about with this. This is crazy. And we see how these men been doing stuff like this throughout the years and years of black community, you know, stealing our music, everything. And that's why he's saying, like, this ain't 1800s. This ain't the 1800s. This is 2022. It's not 1822. And I'm not finna let you do me like this and just shut my mouth and be quiet about it. I'm gonna let everybody know how I feel about it, and I'm not right, and it ain't right. And so that's Mike Tyson stands on this, you know. Let me know what y'all think about this situation, you know. Let me know how y'all think about, you know, Hulu trying to play Mike Tyson, and if y'all still gonna go watch this biopic that they putting out, coming out later on this month. Let me know what y'all think about this. Hit my like button and sub to the channel.
I just think if Canelo was using the jab effectively, hard, the guy wouldn't have been able to come in, because the guy was coming in because he wasn't worried about Canelo's jab. So he got more aggressive and he got brave. If he's not jabbing, he has no defense. If he's not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him, like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. Well, it's really basic, just pretty much jab. When he was jabbing, Canelo should be moving, slipping the jab for the final uppercut. Before he can anticipate the combination. If he was slipping the jab, the guy wouldn't do the combination. If Canelo would have used his jab, I was discussing with my wife, he's not using his jab. And then the next round, I saw him using his jab some, so his corner must have been telling him the same thing. And I believe if he used his jab, it would have been a different fight.
Yeah.